very proud of, because this lasts the test of time. Projects come and go, people come and go, but the museum will be there hopefully forever, as long as the building is around and people enjoy it. We typically get about 2,000 to 3,000 guests a year come visit the museum. So it's a very popular site for all the students and all the people wanting to see the greatest inventions of all time. And when we built the museum, it's essentially not a business museum or not like a historical thing. It's really the history of the greatest inventions of all time that changed humanity. So we worked with our archives folks, and we tried to find which things fundamentally changed this planet forever. And I always tell people, like, you know, it's hard to get born in life, right? You get, as a baby, it's hard to do the childbirth, right? And then eventually, 90 years later, you leave this earth, right? And it's hard to die. So it's hard to come and it's hard to die. And the real question is, in those 90 years you're on this planet, what is it you can do as a human being to make the world a better place and leave it a better place and do something that helps humanity advance to the next level? So those are the things, I think, from an innovation perspective and invention kind of thing, you know, are the things that change the world forever. In the museum, there's many, many examples of technology and inventions that people did that fundamentally changed the world forever. And like I tell people, it all started with Alexander Graham Bell. People don't realize that. I mean, today we worry about the mighty dollar and stuff like that, but when you think about it, Alexander Graham Bell, with one idea from one person who was helping deaf people on the side, you know, came up with the invention of the telephone and created the patent. And the patent from Alexander Graham Bell is really the birth certificate of AT&T. I mean, nowadays we all worry about the mighty dollar and stock prices and things like that. But AT&T was really born from an invention from one person who changed the entire world forever. Basically, we would not be here today. None of us would be here today. And you could just imagine a world with no telephones and no cell phones and none of those things. And there's many, many inventions that came afterward. Some quick ones, basically, I'll just go through them, like cellular. But we all have cell phones. We got, you know, 5G phones, and eventually we'll have these 6G phones, right? But people don't realize there was like a minus 1G a long time ago and a 0G back in the old days, where we had like a VHF station with like 13 channels, and people used to make like mobile phone telephone calls off the Empire State Building, and there'd be like 14 channels for the entire New York metro area, and you may have to go wait an hour to get a channel available to make that phone call. And then there was the improved mobile telephone service that gave more channels, so that got you to like 0G. And then the advanced mobile telephone network came about that, you know, with frequency reuse and so forth, that gave us, you know, the 1G. So now we're on 5G today. But what you probably don't know is all these Gs came really this close to never happening. There was a huge push back in the old days, in the early 80s, about the economics of the thing, and the AT&T at the time did a study with McKinsey. It's called the McKinsey report, and basically what they said, it makes kind of sense. They said the cell phone is a waste of time, a waste of money. It's kind of like the CB radio. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a fad. It's going to die. And I can understand that. The rationale they used is basically, at that time, there were payphones in every street corner. So the argument from a financial perspective said, you could take a nickel out of your pocket, you could pull over on any corner, on any road, there was a payphone, and for a nickel, you could call anywhere you want in the world, and no problem.